Disclaimer. This channel is for entertainment and educational purposes only. All third-party video clips, audio, and commentary fall under fair use as outlined in Section 107 of the Copyright Act, in accordance with applicable laws. The views and opinions expressed in this channel are those of the host and should not be taken as fact or professional advice, and do not necessarily reflect current views or affiliations.
Drivers, imagine being a brand new truck driver just trying to survive out here, and the only company that will at least let you bring your child with you on the road is the same company that leaves you stranded after an accident. You guys want to know who I'm talking about? Let's talk about it.
You want answers?
I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
Our story begins with a young mother who just earned her CDL. She tried with Swift, but she had to leave, unfortunately. Swift wouldn't allow her to bring her baby onto the truck with her. So instead, she tried to look for other opportunities, other trucking companies that would allow her to bring her child onto the road with her. But options for new CDL drivers, at least with kids, are slim. The goal here was for her to go to Prime. But Prime won about 6 months of experience if you didn't go through their CDL training school. So a truck driver on TikTok, a new driver himself, he decided to reach out to her to offer a helping hand. He said, hey, why not go to controversial company, Blk Ops Company in Chicago? And he said, hey, just go there for about 6 months. It's not great, but at least you can bring your child with you on the road. And of course, that's how she ended up with the Blk Ops Company out in Chicago. Fast forward where there's a heavy rainstorm that's going on right now. She's running the load with her kid on the truck, having fun, listening to the radio. She decides to park for the night. Well, unfortunately, a U-Haul driver loses control and smacks dead back into the back of her trailer. He hit the trailer so hard that it damaged the U-Haul and the trailer. Now, from the story that I got, the U-Haul driver was like stuck up under the trailer. So she decides to jump out in a panic to go back there and check out what's going on. Now, mind you, it's raining, the truck's damaged, the U-Haul is up under the truck, and her fears is like, wow, the driver could be like dead or something. Her child wakes up in fear, and now she's freaking out because of everything that's going on. State troopers come around, they assess the accident, they send the U-Haul driver to the hospital, and they send her and her daughter to get checked out as well. She's still shaken up by the whole ordeal, being a new truck driver. The trailer, of course, is damaged, but it's still loaded. But the truck itself, truck's fine. Now, after she gets checked out at the hospital, she comes out with a clean bill of health, her and her daughter. Now she gets back to the truck. She heads over to a truck stop to get the trailer repaired, and that's where things take a nightmarish turn. The Blk Ops Company that she drives for just stalls her out, period. They won't turn on the fuel card. They give her an option, and only two options, right? They say, hey, while the trailer is in the shop being repaired, you can go to either Atlanta to pick up an empty trailer, or you can head to Jacksonville to pick up a trailer. But unfortunately, she just came out of the hospital. She just came out of a tumultuous accident, right? She's kind of shaken up. So you would think you will have somebody else to come and call the trailer, at least to give this young lady the opportunity to reset after everything that happened, right? So instead of turning on the fuel card to help this young lady out to either get to a hotel or to get somewhere where she can assess the situation and get somewhere where it's warm and safe for her and her child, you guys got to understand, she's still traumatized from this situation, her and her baby. But basically, this Blk Ops companies just say, hey,
we do not care.
Handle this yourself. Do it on your time. Listen, drivers, I gotta be honest. This is the exact reason why I say do your research on the companies that you'll be driving for, especially when it comes to these Blk Ops companies in Chicago. Single moms, new CDL holders, people that's in tumultuous situations. It's unfortunate that these type of companies are the only second chance companies that you got to work with. Companies like Blk Ops companies out in Chicago, their reputation isn't hidden. They're known for low pay, control tactics, and leaving drivers hanging. Majority of them is just thrown up under the bus for whatever reason. So listen, now to the young man that reached out to her, yo, I commend you, my guy, but your first mistake was to even suggest that she goes to that controversial company out in Chicago, man. And you even said that, hey, it has a bad reputation, but you could bring your baby with you. Yeah, but still, their reputation is bad for a reason, my guy. Look, man, just don't default to these Blk Ops companies out in Chicago just because they say,
Hold on.
man, I had to stop this video and just admire how it looks right now. The camera that's being used in this video is the Insta360 Go Ultra. They just raised the bar for tiny little action cameras. It packs a bigger 1.28-inch sensor, shoots a crisp, clean 4K at 60 frames, and it adds a swappable micro SD card that has storage up to 2 terabytes. And as far as the battery life, well, you get about an hour at 4K recording. But the downside to this, if you like going swimming, I wouldn't suggest you dump the action pod into deep water because it's not waterproof. The camera, yes. Action pod, no. There is no removable battery, and it's also an expensive piece of equipment. I paid $4.99. This is not a sponsored video. I went to B&H, got it from them, and now I'm playing with it, and it looks good. Still, if you want a featherweight camera that mounts just about anywhere, Go Ultra is definitely hard to beat. Listen, I suggest when you pick up this camera, go to Amazon and get a power brick so that you don't have to worry about running out of battery when you're out there having fun. The Insta360 Go Ultra. I suggest you go and pick up this camera today. Yes, right? They're going to say yes to a lot of stuff. Okay, just to bring you on. See, you got to understand these lease garbage that's out there, man, that's there for them to make money, not you. You're not going to make no money, okay? Some people say they do make money with them, but not everybody is going to make money with this company. And you got to understand the reason why driver after driver after driver after driver keeps letting people know that this is not the company to drive for. But just because they say yes doesn't necessarily mean you should go with them. There are small fleets and family-run companies out there that will let parents bring their kids onto the truck. It is kind of hard to find, but listen, it is better than ending up in a scammy situation, right? No judgment to this young lady. I'm glad she's safe. I have reached out to her to get her story onto the platform. So as of right now, we are going back and forth so we can get that set up for you. So stay tuned for that. But all she trying to do is to feed her kid and survive. It's just unfortunate that she might not have no support in the background to help her while she's out on the road and she can have somebody to watch her kid. But this story, drivers, just shows how dangerous just to get 6 months anywhere advice can be. 6 months can feel like a lifetime where you stuck with no fuel and a crying baby after a wreck. So these Blk Ops companies out in Chicago is exactly what drivers be warning about out here. lease scams, lack of support, leaving you stranded, throwing you up under the bus. See, those the kind of companies that lure people in with promises of flexibility and then disappear when something goes wrong. And look, if you're watching and thinking about trucking, listen, do your research before you decide to pick any of those Blk Ops carriers. And I'm not saying that all of them is bad, but if there's one or two or maybe three that's out there that drivers keep warning you against, maybe that company might not be the company for you. Listen, don't just chase the quick experience. Don't just chase, oh, well, they got a bad reputation, but at least give them a try type deal, okay? Don't just accept all of that. Do your research before you get into all of that. And listen, for all the new CDL truck drivers that are parents, understand this. This industry is brutally unfair to drivers, especially the drivers with kids. Listen, I want you to plan carefully. I want you to save. I want you to look for safe options, not just any options out there. Hopefully you have support, because that's going to be the biggest thing, especially if you're a new mother with a baby, okay? It's kind of hard to bring the baby on the road with you, especially if you don't have support, and it's 2 times as harder when you're a new CDL driver, okay? So again, I hope you have the support that will help you out in the long run. But if you don't, hopefully you'll just take a little bit more time to do some extensive research to find companies that are child friendly. And hopefully I would get this young lady on for you guys and we can hear her story, how she feels about the company, what is her next move. I'll keep you guys posted until I get her on, so stay tuned to the community post. All right, until next time, drivers.
What do you think about Blk Ops companies out of Chicago? Would you risk it just to get experience, or hold out for better? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Share this video so other new drivers, especially new CDL parents. And if you've got a story worth telling, email me at lockoutmenpodcastguest@gmail.com. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next update. This is the Trucking Commentary, Podcast Trucking Unfiltered.